What's going on, DMG clan? Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to use your Nintendo GameCube controller on your Android phone to play some GameCube emulation in 2024. This year, we're just going to learn so much more. So what we have here, mobile gamers, are two GameCube controller adapters. One is by a company by the name of Mayflash. This is the same company that made the Wii Dolphin bar that I showcased on the channel a few months ago. And this one is just a made in China for Switch, Wii U, PC. Now, they both work for the same consoles as they state on the front, but the one on the left, which is the Mayflash one, works for Android as well. Now, I tested this one out multiple different ways. It just kept on crashing the Dolphin emulator. So today I'm going to show you how to set this one up. I'm going to show you this one plugged in and trying to get it to work. But I'm actually going to show you this one working with multiplayer support on multiple different devices with multiple different adapters that you can connect this with so that you can play your GameCube games on a GameCube controller. So I do have two GameCube controllers here. I have an original GameCube controller, Nintendo branded, and I have a knockoff GameCube controller. So we're gonna set these up, use both of these. Now obviously I don't have two hands, but we're gonna use both of these and test it out. And this one was, I think it was like $15 at a pawn shop. You can probably find it for cheaper. And this one was $25. So finding out if this one works and this one works is great. If you already have a GameCube controller, then you don't have to worry about that. But if you wanted to go out and buy a $15 GameCube controller just to play, then this would be for you. Now, what adapters I suggest you to get? I suggest you to get at least an adapter like this one that has a charging compatibility to it, so that you can plug in your device and leave it charged while you're using this, because you want to keep your device charged up, or at least use your charge separation if your device has that option. Now this costs about 30 bucks. It does have HDMI out support, which is great because you can, most of these devices you can actually plug into your HDMI and play this on the big screen like you're playing an actual GameCube. So this one also has two USB ports, which is also amazing because this has two USB adapters that you need to plug in. One is for power and the other one is actually to send the data across. This one, however, does not. It only has one USB port, one micro SD or micro USB or USB-C port, and an HDMI out. The only disadvantage of this is it doesn't have two USBs, and you won't be able to charge your GameCube controller adapter while using this on your Android device. So we're not going to use this one today. And the same goes for this thing right here. This one has only one USB port. You can't charge it, but it's kind of a good alternative if you want just a quick option and you have a charging block of some sort to plug this into. The biggest thing I think is this dock. So this dock has dual fans. It's a little bit more of an expensive dock. I got it on AliExpress. Keeps your device cool. It has multiple USB ports. It has TF card reader and a SD card reader. It has an HDMI out and a charging port. Now, I'm not going to use this one for this video just because I think this thing is a little bit more priced. This was like $60. I got it on sale actually for $39, I think, on AliExpress. They were doing a Black Friday sale, so I got that months ago. And this one, I think you can get it for about $25. And this is all Canadian pricing, so you can probably get it for cheaper wherever you are. Now, this Mayflash GameCube controller adapter, this one was $27. This one was $18.99, I think, or 20 bucks-ish. So depending on if you want to use your Android device or not, that's up to you. This one, like I said, doesn't seem to want to work, and I'm going to show you that kind of near the end of the video, and I will put timestamps in this to show you that working or not working, because it doesn't work. So I bought the Mayflash one, crossing my fingers, and all you basically get is this adapter inside the box. Nothing too fancy, it's just a box, that's it. And then you have this kind of clunky-ish looking USB to GameCube adapter connector. Now, if you had some sort of station to set this up at, which is what I'm going to end up doing eventually, is setting up like a little retro game station, and I'm going to share that kind of with you guys down the road because I have the Dolphin bar, and I guess there's a lot of different USB style adapters that you can get out there, even for like PlayStation controllers and stuff like that, that do work. Now, again, one of these is the actual charge, the other one is the data, and there is a toggle switch on the back that says PC and Wii U Nintendo Switch. Now, the big thing I noticed with this is that if you want to navigate through your menu, it does have to be toggled on to PC if you want to navigate through your Android operating system, that is. Now, when you're actually in the Dolphin emulator, you can use just the Wii U NS switch. So that's all up to you. And like I said, it does work really good. Now, this has a little bit of a quick connection guide. I don't think it says anything in here about Android, which it doesn't. I looked at this twice, and it doesn't really say anything about working for Android. I don't think anybody has really set this up for Android. I don't know. So it does not work for Android. I'm going to let you know that now. Now, the devices I have here are the Red Magic 8S Pro, the Galaxy Tab S9, and of course the Odin 2, which is probably what most of you have come here for. So what we're going to do here, we're going to start with the big screen, and I'm going to just put this on top of the little Mayflash GameCube controller adapter. This is a little setup part. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to plug these two. One needs to go into the USB 3.0, which I'm going to use the black one for that. The other one, which is the charge, needs to go into the USB 2.0. Now, your device will charge this, so that's why I say you should have a little adapter like this that does have charging compatibility to it. So it's got that right there, so we can plug this into our charger. So I got my charger here, my Anchor, and I'm going to plug that in. Now, there's power going into that because I got a little blue light. Now, I can just plug this right into my tablet, but I have little adapters, little dongle adapters that make this a little bit better. I also got these on Amazon. And this is a little dongle adapter that just connects in like so. And then I can just go like this and attach it, and it looks good. So that's basically that adapter in a nutshell. Now, for actually setting this up, first we're going to plug in our GameCube controller. I'm going to be using the one that I recently modded. And yes, it kind of defeats the whole wireless scenario, but I like to use the original controller. It's pretty cool to actually have this functionality. Now, like I said, this is not going to work by default if we're navigating through the menu unless we switch this over to PC mode, which is what I'm going to do right now. And as you can see, I can use this as a PC basically with my controller. Now, when you're inside of Dolphin, that's the only disadvantage to this, is that when you're in here, yes, you can navigate through the games of choice, but the only downside is that when you're sitting at your couch or something, you have to pick a game and then get off the couch to kind of switch that switch over to actually navigate through the menu, because you won't be able to navigate through the menu with it set to Wii U or Nintendo Switch mode, which is the mode that we have to go to. So let's go to settings, go to GameCube input, go to GameCube controller 1, go down to GameCube adapter, and that is it. Now, the little menu at the bottom will pop up. Click OK. Now go into the game of choice. I'm going to turn down the volume for this game. Press A. And as you can see, I'm pressing the buttons on this controller and everything is working the way it's supposed to. It's got no lag. It's got... Basically, you're just playing GameCube using this controller via emulation. And it works really, really well. The vibration works. I can feel the vibration on the controller. I'm going to be fighting Zelda here in a second. And check this out. This is just the most amazing thing since GameCube was invented. So upscaled, we got everything, and that's why emulation is so great, because we can upscale it, and it's just amazing to have options like this. Somebody else said, I like it that you're kind of, you know, revitalizing or revisiting the emulation scene and sharing things like this so that we can, you know, utilize everything we own already, or kind of feel like our old childhood selves by using tools like this. And that's why I thought I'd share this, because I really wanted to get a GameCube and Wii setup going. Even though I own a Wii that has the GameCube ports on it, I still want to use like a physical controller. Now, I do love, you know, having the portability of a Odin 2, for example, but having this is just amazing. And yes, it does work on PC. It works on your Nintendo Switch if you want to use your controller for Nintendo Switch, but that's not what we're really here for, because in the title it says for Android, and it works. Like I said, it's just an amazing thing, and it's so easy to set up this one. Now let's test out some multiplayer, and then we'll go through all the other devices to show you that it works on multiple devices. All right, so for multiplayer, it's pretty simple, to be honest. So we got our second controller here, and we're gonna try some multiplayer Smash Bros. So let's plug this into number 2 slot. There's a 1, 2, 3, and 4 slot right here, and then you could probably come up with some crazy, like, cool station of some sort. Go to your settings, go to GameCube input, go to your controller 2, go to GameCube adapter. Now just jump into your game, Super Smash Bros, and then we're gonna go to versus mode. Let's just go to melee, and then as you can see, I'm using controller number 2 and controller number 1 to move around my player, or my character for my player. So I'm gonna select this character, and then I'm gonna select Kirby. So that was Yoshi and Kirby. And then let's press start to fight. Both of the controllers are vibrating. Everything is working the way that you would want it to work. So let's just select a random level. And again, like I said, I can't really you can't really play with two screens, but this is really cool to actually have this ability to have a little adapter like this to actually be able to play and defeat myself. Now let's test this out on multiple other devices. We're going to try it out on my phone, we're going to try it on the Odin 2, and then I'm going to show you why the GameCube controller adapter that I showed over here, which is this one, doesn't work. I think it's just a driver issue or something, and that just crashes Dolphin. So let's close this out. Let's go to exit emulation, and then let's plug this into other devices. First runner up, we're gonna go and set the controller up again. GameCube input, we're gonna change this to GameCube adapter, same with this one, and then we're gonna go back, and then if this doesn't actually go, switch it back and forth for a second. So as you can see, it's actually working correctly, and then there's that little dialogue. So all I did was just toggle the switch on and off. Click OK. Now, like I said, you still have to touch the screen, so I'm just going to go Mario Kart on this one. All right, now that we're through the menu, let's go 2-player, because we're just going to go versus and Grand Prix 50cc, and player 2 can pick its controller or character, and second character, let's just pick whatever cart pops up, Mushroom Cup, and we'll be on our way to play some Mario Kart on dual screen with 2 GameCube controllers, which is pretty freaking cool, I think, for GameCube emulation, because honestly, upscaling any of these games and then putting this on the big screen or something, that would look really good, and then you get to play with your physical controllers with that nostalgia in hand, right? So that's really, really sweet. Now let's test it out. Close this down. Again, kind of a tutorial, this is kind of a cool thing to have in your emulation collection kind of thing. Now this one, yeah, I guess the sideways one works really well. You can just kind of figure out where to put this. I don't got a lot of space on this table here, but there we go. So it's plugged in. Now we got to go to our settings, GameCube input, GameCube adapter for player 2. And then, like I said, if it doesn't pop up right away, which it's probably not going to, just switch it off, switch it back on. Mayflash adapter, click OK. click the game of choice. I'm just going to go back into Mario Kart again, just because. And that was super good. And note that if you have an Odin 2, for example, I didn't have to go into any of the settings to turn off the controllers. I'm just going to pick my characters. Now, if you know anything about this device, yes, you have a setting where you can turn off these buttons if you don't want to use them. And there we go. So let's get started with our dual screen. Now, like I said, this would look really great on the big screen or even on a big tablet, for example. And we got both controllers acting the way that we'd want them to, using original GameCube controller and even a knockoff GameCube controller, which still works the same way, of course. It just feels a little bit cheaper. But the fact that they both work, this is a cheaper option, this is, you know, the legit option, is really, really great to have this maybe set up at, like I said, a game station or something in your home. Now let's go and check out the GameCube controller adapter that I said is kind of the versus of this, so that we can actually see if it works. So let's get out of here, go back, exit, and unplug this device. Let's get these unplugged. And like I said, I used the 2.0 for the gray and 3.0 for the black. All right, so now we're going to check out the GameCube controller adapter. That is just the no-name brand one. This one's actually getting returned because it doesn't work, and for what I wanted it to work for. Kind of has the same kind of look to it, same kind of double boards or whatever. It has the same Wii U and PC button on the back. Now, the crappy thing is it is cheaper, of course, so that kind of sucks that, you know, you can't use this one. But we're going to plug it in. I'm going to plug it into my Odin 2 and show you that it doesn't work. After I plug in both of these controllers, I'm just going to plug in one on, actually, just for the sake of this video. Now, let's plug the Odin 2 right into this adapter. And again, like I said, this is something that obviously you'd want to set up a station somewhere and then maybe have a dock. The dock would probably be a better option. Now, let's go to our GameCube input, and I have that set. I'm going to turn this one off. Actually, go back out, GameCube input. Just none. Now, this doesn't even work right off the hop. We have the PC option turned on. Now, if I turn it into Wii mode, click OK, the Dolphin emulator just wants to crash. Now, if I try to open it, it just crashes over and over again. It doesn't allow you to actually do anything. If I turn this off again, it says that its adapter is connected. You can actually control things and everything. You can go into the Dolphin emulator, you can control this, you can go into a game, but it doesn't actually recognize anything. So if we turn this on again and we click OK, it ends up crashing it again. So this adapter doesn't want to work for the Dolphin emulator, at least for your Android device. If you want this for Android, again, go get the Mayflash one. I'm just going to show you that this does work, you know, when it comes to controlling your device and stuff. But when you go into a game, and this is set to PC mode right now, I can't push anything. It tries to open up the menu. There's just, it won't allow me. Yeah, there we go. Opens up the menu and it just won't allow me to actually use it. So that's why I did a kind of a this one versus this one, and a kind of setup guide, I guess, with this whole process. Again, go get yourself a Mayflash GameCube controller adapter if you want to play using your original GameCube controller on your Android or your PC or your Wii or your PC or your Switch or your PC or your Android. I know I said all of those again. Have a nice day, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this kind of stuff, because I love this kind of stuff and it's awesome to see what we can find in 2024.